Okay, here we are, Evolution of Jazz. You've completed the orientation quiz and you're ready to start the course. The modules have opened. This is the introduction to Module 1. Module 1 is a basic jazz overview. You can see it here. And in this module, we'll be talking about the basic terminology of jazz. And we will also be talking about the history of jazz, how it developed in America from African and European roots. This is an American art form, even though everything, the instruments and the heritage really is African and European, and you'll read about that. You'll learn about African roots. You'll learn about the basic instruments used in jazz, including the trumpet, saxophone, trombone, and some basic jazz terms. And then there's a video in this module featuring Billy Taylor explaining how you improvise as a jazz artist, that it doesn't just come out of thin air, that there is a structure to it and a certain ideology about how you improvise, and that's explained by Dr. Billy Taylor. There's some examples of the song Autumn Leaves, which is a famous jazz song, but what I did is I showed 3 examples of 3 different artists: Miles Davis, which is an audio version, Sarah Vaughan, and Nat King Cole singing Autumn Leaves, to show 3 different ways that you can approach the same piece of music, which is the essence of jazz, the fact that you could be an individual. We'll also talk about call and response, the fact that jazz refers a lot to one person doing one thing and somebody responding to it, and this came out of the field hollers, out of one of the most horrible times in the history of America, the slave era, when people were working out in the field and they were trying to communicate, and somebody would say something and someone would respond to it, call and response. There's some information in the module about that. We'll also learn about the development of the blues, which is an essential part of jazz music, which developed in America. Very, very important, the blues. We'll discover some of the great blues artists like Robert Johnson, Ma Rainey, and Bessie Smith. We'll also discover the beginnings of ragtime music, the great Scott Joplin on piano, who wrote rag music, and the importance of brass bands, where there was no amplification back in the late 1800s, and they had to have a powerful brass ensemble to get people excited. So that's our first module, Evolution of Jazz. Hope you enjoy it.